Okay, so if there's anything that this native New York City gal could tell you, it's about how to maximize small spaces on the cheap. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. This happens to be an and more, but you do end up saving money on the cheap because none of these suggestions cost a ton. I conducted a little bit of a visual experiment. Look behind me today. Look at the screen in case you're slicing and dicing and you're just listening. I have a white with a little bit of a confetti background. It looks happy. It looks cheerful, and it seems to look bigger. It seems to look visually bigger than, let's say, if I change the background on this to a completely different background, let's say of a darker color. It sort of like reduces visually the image. That's one of the things. A lot of visuality comes into play here. And oftentimes I've noticed a lot of people who are in I would suggest in their case, like on the smallish sizes of their space, to get away from the totally like dark wooden tones and stuff like that. It can make an area look way smaller just visually. I'm not saying completely do away with it, and again, this is just my thought. You could throw it out the window. It's just my thought that I'm thinking that when you use white, working around with like white or light colors, yeah, it makes a space look a lot larger. It's just like an I don't know, optical illusion, so to speak. And that's not to say to get rid of all the dark areas. Maybe have an accent wall, for example, with a darker color that you love, or something to that effect. You see where I'm going with this? And what does that cost? What, a gallon or two of white paint, or a light, bright, happy color with spring around the corner? Many people are going to be doing just that, getting out the old paint buckets and so on and so forth. So that's a fairly low cost trick. The next thing to do is maximize the area with like certain areas. You could just get an inexpensive mirror. I'm not talking about mirror, put a whole mirror on the entire wall like that 1970s kind of thing. I mean, some people do that and it works for them. They're happy with, and they're whatever. Or you could just get like a spot, like a corner wall, and maybe just put a mirror. You'd be amazed how that visuality opens up again. It looks just like as if a window almost. So it just like breaks up that visual thing, and of course you get the benefit of using it as what, an occasional what, mirror. So don't have to spend a lot of money. You could get them in, you could get these fun mirrors, for example. I'll call them fun mirror. You could get that fun mirror or two for accent and decorating at a Dollar Tree in all probability. I'm just saying, and if not there, then just look around online, and maybe. The next thing, of course, before you begin anything else space wise, declutter. Why do we reorganize clutter? I will never, ever, for the life of me. I mean, we've all done it. We don't realize we're doing it. We're reorganizing, buying extra storage spaces and whatever, just to keep the same old clutter that, in truth and in fact, all we needed to do was discard. There comes a time. Whatever the thing is, look at it, bless it, say thank you for serving me. I bless you. I'm so appreciative of you. But now it's time to part company. Again, spring is around the corner, and one of the things all of us really love is a fresh start to a wonderful upcoming season. Am I right? Or am I right? So decluttering is extremely helpful. We don't need to tie up extra space, real estate space, if you will. Just organizing, reorganizing clutter, things we don't use. All right. Floating shelves. Okay, you know what floating shelf is. Look them up. They're relatively inexpensive. Just hang them up if you could. That, hey, it's extra shelving space. Why not? It's not interfering with anything, and it's being very helpful. Um, Sometimes people need to like create like dividing spaces, like get a room divider by using a shelf that's a shelf that is a room divider. You get to use it as a shelf, and you get to use it as a room divider or an area divider. Those are very inexpensive, easily thing to do. Baskets. This is where the Dollar Tree comes in very, very handy. Using baskets for good storage that's clearly defined, like using each basket for a specific purpose. That's very easy to monitor. You know where things are. Remember the old fashioned expression, as I mentioned not long ago, a place for everything and everything a place. And it is the truth. And you could do that very, very easily. And live in defined spaces. Like if you're living in a really smallish area, this is my living room area. This is my eating area. Not a mishmash of things all over the place. That could be crazy. Next, work with vertical space. That's up and down. So vertical is working from the floor to the ceiling. And lots of times we forget about that we have all that extra space. So let's say if we create shelves going taller for things that are not frequently used, that you don't have to keep right in front of you at all times. The infrequently thing used, you could put in the upper portion. I find that to be very, very helpful. Get functional furniture instead of just a chair. Consider getting a reclining chair, and they come in handy for an extra guest, for example, that can't get home that night for some reason or another, and you're offering them, you don't have an extra guest room or anything, but here is a reclining chair with a TV in front of it. Usually, right? Many people have their TVs in front of their reclining chair, so in a pinch, it could help someone else out. But for yourself mainly, it's a dual purpose. So that's maximizing your space and maximizing the functionality of the furniture. So another thing is very helpful, keeping furniture against the wall. Too oftentimes people in small spaces aren't thinking of their personal safety or the personal safety of others. They're just looking at certain things for looks. Instead of keeping the sofa in the very middle of the room, perhaps in a case like this, it's best if the space is rather small, put that sofa against the wall with your end tables, everything against the wall. So you have good egress, good, safe walking area. And you also it just feels better, more open, more airy. Again, windows are very, very important and necessary. And also, if you have a window, keep like the window dressed with like brighter colors. These are just suggestions. Just feel that airiness, that lightness. You don't want to feel that claustrophobic, closed in, small space feel. Just these little visual tricks are very helpful. Now let's talk about very inexpensive storage areas, of course, under the bed. And we talk about using under the bed containers, for example, what a person wants to stockpile, cans. Okay. Canned goods work very well under the bed. Get one of those plastic under the bed things that slides in and out. Just pull them out as you need it, because many beds take up so much area. I mean, so much footing, so much footprint space, if you will. Takes up a lot of space. So you could work with that and make it work within you. Make it work for your favor, not just, oh, wow, there's just a huge bed there and just taking up extra space. No. Let me see. Baskets, again, inexpensive baskets are very helpful. There are other hiding places for things like under occasional tables. You could easily do that. Put them in a corner, put the table in a corner, put a little bit of a pretty tablecloth, if you will, over it. No one knows the better. You have extra hiding space for your storage. And anything that could give you extra storage space is very, very helpful. People oftentimes ignore that area above or on top of their kitchen cabinets, okay? I mean, I know the trends are that the cabinets many times go practically to the ceiling, but if you have shorter space cabinets, if you happen to have shorter space cabinets, then that is definitely an opportunity to make the best of that real estate, if you will, for infrequently used items that you do use. I mean, it's not like it's just clutter that you're storing clutter. No, there's a big difference. Make that use available. You have it, it's available, and why not? I am sure that I'm just scratching the surface on all of these tips and tricks. I probably am. But we could revisit this at another time. By the way, please let us know in the comment section below. What do you do to maximize a small space or to expand the current space that you have? Hey, listen, this is very helpful to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everybody's time. Don't forget to click like, share, and consider subscribing. Go just subscribe. Have a great day.